My name is Stephen Rafferty, and you're watching These Are Questions. This is the interview show where I ask people questions about things, life, and such not. And today's guest is a pair of improvists. They're members of the Society Circus Players, and they have their hit card game podcast, PlayDate with Dash and Ali. Please welcome Ali Garcia and Dash Maverick.
Hey, everybody.
I'm Ali.
That's Ali,
Dash,
yeah, just so we're clear. Yeah.
Just to make sure that there's Ali, there's Dash,
Yeah.
and I'm Steven.
Right.
Right. Last time I checked. Welcome to These Are Questions.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It's real exciting.
I'm excited for it. I'm excited for this episode. This is the collaboration that I wanted to do since you allowed me to be a part of your show, Playdate with Dash and Ali, which we're going to get to in this episode of These Are Questions. So it's kind of the collaboration for the collaboration.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is 2.0.
Right.
Yes, 2.0. Through the power of the internet, it is definitely 2.0. But before we get further into that 2.0 metaverse here, I need to explain the rules of These Are Questions.
Okay.
Dash and Ali, I'm going to ask you a series of questions that are going to be based around your career and aspirations, along with a mixture of questions that are borderline idiotic and, well, randomly stupid.
Great.
Do you accept those terms?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay, great. So, Dash and Ali, are you both ready?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We are ready.
Right. Internet, are you ready? I see someone playing Uno in the corner right there.
Yeah.
He just pulled out a reverse card. Okay, he's reversing back to me. I'm going to give him a +2 and just say he's ready.
Thanks, Internet.
Yes.
Is it the whole internet?
The whole internet is playing Uno right now.
Yes, the entire internet. Every single person on the internet is playing Uno right now. You know, which is the most dangerous game. Just saying.
Yeah.
With that in mind, let's begin. So, thank you so much for the both of you for being a part of These Are Questions. I'm really excited to do this interview for the show. I would like for you to talk to me about both of your creative journeys on how you both met each other and started working together.
Okay, so I've been creative my whole life. I danced when I was a kid. I played music. I did theater a little bit in high school, college, and so years into working in this place, I had done improv in college, and he was trying to put together a little group to do something at the school where we worked. And he asked me to be part of it, and I followed the first rule of improv, and I just said yes, and I'd never stopped. And that was about 10 years ago. Yeah. And it's easy to remember when I started doing improv because my first show was on my birthday. And my first show is also where I met Dash.
That's right. And it just so happened that the troupe that was performing there that night was the troupe that Ali was a part of.
Mm-hmm.
And it was her first show on her birthday. So one of my friends was in that improv troupe, which is why I was there for the show.
Okay.
And afterwards, we all went out to dinner or whatever, and I went to meet the group, and I told them how much I liked them and whatever. And it turns out that they were having improv auditions like 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you know what? I've always loved Whose Line Is It Anyway? Robin Williams was one of my idols, and that was his whole thing. So I went to the auditions, I nailed it, and got in, and the rest is history. Ali and I have been part of the same group since, 10 years ago. Actually, 10 years ago this August 31st.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that group has since disassembled.
Okay.
And then we rebranded as Society Circus Players, 7 years ago? 8 years ago.
8 years ago.
The Society Circus Players' birthday is also coming up.
Yeah.
7 or 8, sorry.
8
years ago. 8 years ago. Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. That's awesome. And congratulations on your, I guess I would say improv anniversary.
Improviversary.
Improversary. There it is.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I wish you more continual successes as you go on to your improv careers there. The many more wacky, insane, bizarre shows are going to happen.
Snaps to that.
Yeah.
You know, you don't both just run the improv troupe with Society Circus Players, but in conjunction, you have a card/board game podcast called PlayDate with Dash and Alley, which I was thankfully being featured on that show, and that's how we got a chance to meet through my card game, No Cheese, No Coin. But I wanted to ask, you know, how did the podcast start? And besides my episode, obviously, our episode, besides, you know,
Right.
just, you know, low-key the best episode.
You can have it. It can be your episode.
Yeah.
Besides,
Oh, we
Mhm.
So it happened. Oh yeah, sorry.
no. I
I thought you were done asking the questions. Yeah.
I never am done with asking the questions. Never. I was gonna ask, what are your favorite games / what was your favorite episode to play on the show?
Wow.
Well, okay, let's do the origin story first.
Okay, origin story first.
We had been knocking around the idea of a podcast for a couple of years, and we actually recorded several episodes of a different version of a podcast. And we ended up not putting them out. I don't know.
We like tested them on people we knew, and they weren't like super high energy, and you know, like what's the reason to tune into it? Like, it was us having fun and doing improv in the form of a podcast, but there wasn't really much meat to it.
One thing that we really like to do together is just like have a game night and play games.
Mhm.
So that seemed like a really natural fit for a podcast. You know, just doing what we like to do already, but with other people tuning in if they want. So that's kind of how it started.
Sort of, and part of it was during the pandemic, because everybody was looking for content and how to put out stuff for people to watch and etc. and people to do things. So we started doing something called Super Arcade. And
right. I forgot about that.
Right. And at 3:05 every afternoon, we would jump on Instagram Live and do some sort of card game with somebody. And it would either be somebody from our improv troupe, or we bring on a special guest. But we would do that for 10 or 15 minutes every day.
It was 3 days a week.
It was 3 days a
Mondays,
week. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Wednesdays,
Monday,
Fridays,
Wednesday,
yeah.
Friday. And, you know, we just had some fun with that. Once I had to go back to work, my afternoons were no longer available. It wasn't as easy to keep up with the, you know, continuing the game. So after that ended, we said, you know what? We really had fun doing this. People were responding to it. This is what our podcast should be. It just should be us playing games and shooting the breeze and, you know, having guests on every now and again. And that's how we ended up doing this podcast.
Well, good to know. Well, for those that are watching and they're listening to the show, check out some of the archive episodes of Super Arcade. You know, give a shout out there. And you never know. I really like the name Super Arcade. Maybe you could spin that into something else in the future. I really like that name.
Well, we've been toying with the idea of creating our own game at some point. Yeah. Spoiler. So,
you heard it first.
Maybe you should spin it off and that'd be the name of our game.
Yeah.
That's an idea. Yeah.
Yeah, it is an idea. It's the idea.
It was good. Well, we trust you because you've blazed the way out. Paved the trail, blazed the trail already. Paved the road.
Yeah.
Blazed the trail. Lit the fire.
You blazed the road and paved the way. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
I'm like the Florida Everglades. I'm always on fire.
There it is.
That's awesome there. And if you ever have any questions or comments or ever want to just know about the process of making a card game, please feel free to ask me. I'm more than happy to help you on there when you start start preparing for it.
Definitely.
And you know, it kind of leads to my next question, kind of sort of. You know, other than dueling, hear me out. What everyday task would you use a lightsaber for?
I would use it to cut bread, because as you cut the bread, it would toast the bread. So you'd accomplish both tasks at the same time.
Okay, good one.
I'd probably use it to cut meat because I don't like cutting meat. I find it to be very disgusting. And so it would be nice to just be far away from it, but also get a nice clean cut.
And you'd sear it as you go through.
Yeah, and you would give it a nice sear, like a nice tuna steak. Boom, done. Yeah. It's definitely a kitchen utensil.
Right, it's a cutting tool. It should definitely be used for cutting.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not doing surgery on a regular basis or anything like that. Don't really have a lot of wounds to cauterize. So I feel like, kitchen application is probably the next best thing.
Right. Yeah, I don't see us using it as like a box cutter or anything. Cause,
Yeah, it just seems aggressive.
yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Good points. Good points there. And speaking of aggression, this question is for you, Dash. Could you fight Goro in a bout of Mortal Kombat?
Goro specifically, could I
Yes.
fight him? Yes. Would I win? Absolutely not. Much bigger, much stronger. He's got 4 arms. Not 4 arms. I've got 4 arms. He has 4 arms that he uses to fight. So, yeah, there's a reason why he was the sub boss in the first Mortal Kombat game.
It's a lot of arms to contend
That is
with.
a lot of arms.
Yeah.
A fabulous ponytail. Just very difficult to beat. Very difficult to beat. So, can I fight him? Absolutely. Would I last long? Absolutely not.
Fair enough. I was gonna say his ponytail is the key to everything. You can slice off the ponytail, then he'll just weaken down.
Oh, okay. There we go. He's got like a Samson
like a
thing
Samson kind of deal. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Shout out to Samson. Now I have another question here, and this one's for you, Allie.
Okay.
Do you know of the legend of Leroy Jenkins?
The name sounds very familiar. Leroy is one of those names that just sticks in your brain. I know about Bad Leroy Brown. Baddest man in the whole dang town. Badder than old King Kong, meaner than a junkyard dog. But what's it? Leroy
Jenkins.
I don't know about that. It's a myth?
He's the man.
I mean, there's video evidence of it.
Yes, it is. It's video evidence of this legend. Okay, for context, gather around. This is story time. Steve Rafferty here on These Are Questions. This is the story of the legend of Leroy Jenkins. Gather around. So, long story short, in 2005, a popular MMORPG game called World of Warcraft came out. I've never played it, but thousands and thousands and thousands of players played it. And in that game, there was a group of players that went on a raid, and they were trying to decide how they were going to do this raid properly. But then, after constant arguing and bickering and problems within the group, out comes this individual, this majestic individual, who just went on his player tag and just screamed out the words, "Leroy Jenkins," as he ran into that raid and tried to beat one of the toughest bosses in World of Warcraft. Did he survive? No, but he was a legend, and that's why he is the legend of Leroy Jenkins.
Well, I learned something today.
You did.
I sure did.
Yeah.
That's great. Good for you, Leroy.
Watch the actual video, because you're seeing like, all right, so you're going to flank to the left and you're going to flank to the right, and then there's just like one guy just kind of running around in circles, and then they're still talking strategy on how to take out this boss, and then he goes, "Screw this, Leroy Jenkins," and he goes running into the castle, and the guys are like, "No, wait, what are you doing? Oh God, all right, we're going."
And then it goes in slow mo, really sad.
And then everyone dies.
Great.
Yeah, it's.
Yes. So I'm going to go right to the chase here. Obviously, you both like games. You both like cheese. You like my card game, No Cheese, No Coin.
Yes, we do.
We did.
So what we're going to do here is that I've been doing this with all of my guests with These Are Questions Season 4. I've been taking cards from this deck of No Cheese, No Coin. And what I've been doing is kind of like a horoscope / tarot card reading. We're going to decide in this game, we're going to decide what are each of your cheese types. Okay?
Oh, listen, I've needed this information my whole life. This is the moment I've been waiting for.
Do it.
And let's do it. So I'm going to be like the reader here, and I'm going to shuffle this deck here. And both of you are going to pick your own card and decide what your cheese type is. This is fate right now.
Yeah.
I'm
excited. And you can't argue with it.
No.
If fate chooses...
You just have to justify it and go.
Yeah.
You can use my hand as a guide. Ladies first. So, Allie?
Okay. I would like card number 7.
Which side, left or right?
From the left.
So here? So I'm going to start from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, fate.
Your card is blue cheese.
Nailed it.
Yeah. That's
love
accurate.
it.
Yeah.
I do love it.
I
It's
can see her. How do you feel like you fit in with blue cheese?
I just had blue cheese on a burger last Thursday, so I'm down. I love it.
Yeah.
It's pretty. It's a pretty cheese.
Mhm.
It's stank. It's salty.
Mm-hmm.
All the things that I also am.
Damn, serious. Okay, accurate.
It's aged.
Aged, often confused with gorgonzola, but not gorgonzola.
Oh, I'm glad it relates with you, though. I'm glad you like it.
I love it.
There you go. There you go. And Dash, your turn.
All right, go ahead and do this thing, and I'll tell you when to stop.
Okay.
And stop. There you go.
Okay. Opposite of blue, your cheese is pepper jack.
All right.
Ooh.
Okay.
Mhm.
It's a strong cheese. It's got a kick to it. Yeah.
Mhm,
It's rare, so it's like a specialty. You can't normally get a burger with pepper jack unless it's one of those seasonal spicy Western burgers.
It's rare at a restaurant, but it's not rare. Like, you can go to Publix and get
Oh,
15
right, yeah.
different kinds of pepper jack.
Right. But I'm saying, like, you go to Wendy's and, like, there's your normal burgers, and then there's your pepper jack burger.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Right? Because I'm like a burger. I'm just a normal burger, but with the pepper jack on it.
There you go. You can, that could be used for a Tinder profile right there, Tinder bio.
Mm-hmm.
Pepper jack of all trades.
There it is.
There
Pepper
it
jack
is.
of all trades.
She's wing woman right there, right in
Yeah.
that. Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm really good, by the way. If
Mhm.
anyone needs a wing woman, I'm here for you.
Thank you both for playing, and really do appreciate it. And for those who want to purchase No Cheese, No Coin, it's available now.
You can listen to season 2, episode 6 of our podcast where we play it with Raph.
Yeah.
And it's very fun.
Yes. After this episode of These Are Questions, go and check out Playdate with Dash and Allie's episode with No Cheese, No Coin. Okay? This goes back to the synergy, goes back to the collaboration.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, it's almost like one. It's like if you listen to them together, then it's almost like one supersized episode.
Just like a pepper jack burger, supersized.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You unlock several achievements.
Exactly.
I don't know what they are, let us know, but you will unlock an achievement of
Yes.
some kind.
Of some kind. Ooh, I gotta add the achievement noise, the or something, This next question is for you, Dash. Fun fact: you're also a professional wrestler.
That I am. Yep.
You are. You showed me some stuff, and you definitely could beat me up in the ring. I would like for you to talk to me about your pro wrestling career and tell me specifically if pro wrestling has helped you in your improv performance.
Okay. Wow. Well, I've been wrestling for a lot longer than I was improvising. I've been wrestling since 2003 officially. That was my first match, September of 2003. So I'm actually coming up on 19 years. Going to be 20 years next year.
Wow.
Yeah. Started in 2003 with a local company called ICW, and I was there for several years, just sort of waiting, treading water there. And eventually I got much more serious about my training around 2008, 2009. I started training with Rusty Brooks School of Hard Knocks and Michael Mannix here in West Miami. And I just got better and better and better. And I would say that my career reached its peak around 2011, 2012, which is roughly around the same time that I started doing improv. It just became a lot harder to travel to with my. I also recently got a promotion at work. So between improv and the promotion at work, wrestling sort of took a backseat. And I wasn't as active as I was originally, but I was still doing it. Like, I would still get booked on shows, and I was still wrestling at the SuperCon shows and stuff like that. There's a saying that we have that's once a wrestler, always a wrestler. So you never stop being a wrestler. You're just taking longer breaks between matches, really, is what it is. So yeah, and then I started doing improv in 2012, and like I mentioned earlier, I auditioned and I got in having never taken an improv class before. Part of that was my love for Whose Line Is It Anyway? I already sort of knew the rules, and I'd taken drama classes before. I also knew like standing on stage and finding your light and stuff like that from my theatrical background. Wrestling, pro wrestling, definitely helped a lot in that regard because I could write a book with how many things wrestling shares with improv, and part of that is crowd psychology, right? Because you have a crowd that's there to watch wrestling, you have a crowd that's there to watch improv. You have to build something with the person you're in the ring with. Same as with improv, you have to build something with the person you're on stage with, and you're working towards a good show altogether, right? Everybody's role is important, no matter how small or how big it is, because you're all working towards one cumulative goal, which is a show that the fans and the audience that went to see it will remember and want to come back and see more. So improv is very much like that as well. That mentality, I think, has really helped me a lot, and it helped our company a lot with Society Circus.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like that's what makes us different from a lot of other improv troupes, is that we don't just treat our audience like a one and done, hey, thank you, saw the show, goodbye. We treat our audience as these are our fans, and they're going to go away wanting to come back to see more and bring their friends.
Because improv really is an experience, right? Like every single show is completely unique. It has never been seen before. Unless we put it on YouTube, it will never be seen again. But even still, if you're watching it, it's not the same as being there. Right. And so it really is about an experience. And so I think your wrestling helps with that. And also just the idea of like selling it, right? Like a lot of what we do on stage as improvisers is like, you may not have the greatest idea, but if you commit to it super hard and if you sell it super hard, the audience will buy it. And that's something that we've worked on as individual improvisers, as a group. Just this idea of like really just sell it. Right?
And facials and physicality are a big thing too. I think I try to, whenever I direct our improv troupe, I try to bring that to the forefront also, which is a lot of big physicality, big motions, big facial energy, because those things are worth more than just the words coming out of your mouth. I feel like those are elements that I got ingrained in me from my trainer, Rusty Brooks, may he rest in peace. Those are things that I learned from him that I then added to the improv that I eventually learned. And I was like, well, this has a lot of parallels. This works. And, I noticed people do this on stage. And what if we do, and it works out really well. I'm not bringing anything new to the table. I like to focus on those things because those are what I've seen work in the wrestling ring and in improv.
It's also just like a way of understanding, right? Like you're going to filter everything through what your experience is. So if your experience and performance is wrestling, you're going to filter improv through that because that's what you know.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And so it ends up having that, I don't know, flavor.
Yeah.
That's a song.
It's the LaCroix. It's improv. It's improv LaCroix flavored pro wrestling. Yeah, I get you. Yeah. To me, our improv is you're watching an improv show, but in the next room, somebody went pro wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a good analogy there. Actually, that's pretty clever. I'll give you that. And it leads to my next question, and this is for you, Ali. I saw on your Instagram page that you create various knits as I would say a professional crocheter. Let me ask you this, since I asked Dash the same thing with wrestling. Do you think, or has crochet helped you in your improv performance?
That's a really great question. I think crochet helps me as a person, and it helps me manage anxiety. It helps me kind of calm. It can be very meditative. And so I think that sets me up to be in a good space to do improv, not have to think about kind of other things that are on my mind. I can improvise within patterns, and I do that often. So I would say maybe my improv has influenced my crochet more than the other way around. But over the pandemic, is that what you're calling it these days?
I'm calling it the pandemic.
Over the pandemic, I did a little crochet class online over Zoom for people. So Dash actually learned how to crochet. Yeah. And we have an improv duo that's based on crochet. Come be in the Old Hookers Social Club. Yeah. We would love to have you. We play old ladies who crochet on stage and just talk about our grandkids, our lives. Yeah. I'm Rose, he's Ethel. He wears a muumuu and a beard. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So that's, I guess that's one direct correlation between crochet and improv.
Yeah, we're like, well, so we both know how to crochet. Let's just try. We were doing it for like a weird improv performance, and we were joking like, oh, we should do one where we crochet.
Yeah,
and
I think it was literally just like, can you imagine just walking into like an improv festival or walking onto an improv stage, sitting down, crocheting, and then just walking out like nothing even happened? I was like, that would be so funny.
And I was like, what would be even funnier? If we dressed like old ladies. So we got like the hair, we got the wigs, we got the glasses, the muumuus, the whole nine.
They're hot old ladies though.
I think so, yeah.
They're hot. Crochet is really great. It's a really good hobby. Something to do with your hands.
Yeah.
And improv's something to do with your mind, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they go hand in mind.
Yeah, they do. Exactly.
Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. And, you've given me a lot of information here on this These Are Questions interview, and this is a question that I would like to ask to both of you. And that question is, what is a great piece of advice for performers that are trying to get into professional improv?
Just keep making it. I mean, we've said this on the podcast, but like, just keep doing the thing that makes you happy. Right. People can tell if you're genuine. People can tell what your vibe is. It's a very welcoming place. There's a space for everyone, whether you're like super big nerd and I want to do like improvised D&D, or whether you're like, I want to do this really like highbrow improv, I want to do something super weird. Like, do it, make it. There's a place for it. Somebody's gonna be into it. But it's also not gonna come easy. Like, you really have to work at it and work hard. Yeah.
If you want to, there's you have a mix of people. I just kind of want to come and goof around, and I'm taking it seriously. I'm not looking to make my skills any better. I'm just here to do some improv with my friends, And then there's some people who constantly like, I want to get better, and I want to get better, and I want to take a workshop so I can get better at this. And well, what am I doing that needs help? All right, so I'm going to take classes to fix that. So we run the gamut, and I think it's important to note that I don't think anybody ever gets started in improv with the intention of, I'm doing this to make money. Money isn't usually a topic. And if you can make money doing improv, great, but I don't think anybody's, aside from the Who's Line people, nobody's really making a living off of, well, no, actually, there are some.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to go to the big market, Chicago, New York, Boston, LA. Those people are running theaters and churning out improv as a product. That's completely different from what we do here, but go through their farm system and make it that way. And if you're just interested in having fun and doing improv and maybe getting better at something, you can do that too. That's fine.
Definitely. I feel like improv is such a like wonderful idea and concept. I was gonna say professional improv is kind of an oxymoron when you think about it.
Right.
It kind of is, but like you can do so much with it. And like if improv is not necessarily your end all be all goal, you can use improv skills to help you in various forms of entertainment, media, and also just everyday life job skills. You know what I mean? So you can use the techniques to help you in your ultimate life. That's something that I know you guys praise with, and also the Zadak sisters with This Is Improv do as well. They're very big on that. Shout out to them, season 2, episode 4, if you want to get the reference after These Are Questions. But like they're, from improvists that I've spoken to over the years, that's definitely a constant. If you don't use improv professionally in that sense, you can use the ideas and use the techniques of improv for various forms of other methods.
I'm glad that you mentioned that. There's a lot of improv ideas and techniques that have really helped me become a better listener, a better relationship partner, both romantic and friendship. I'm a better teacher because I do improv. I do some improv with my classes from time to time to help students feel comfortable with each other, to help them. There's a game I love to play in my classes called Fail Ball. Object of the game is to fail at catching the ball, right? And one of students' biggest fears is this idea of failure, right? I'm going to mess up. I'm going to say something dumb. I'm going to ask a question that is a dumb question. I'm going to do something and everyone will know that I have failed. So by setting the stage of us playing fail ball, where I toss them the ball and their goal is to fail at catching it spectacularly, I round that up by saying, no, is anyone dead? No one in this room is dead. In fact, most of you are smiling.
Right.
Most of you are laughing. So we can survive this, Yeah, improv is very, very applicable to so many aspects of life.
Yeah.
So even if you are a business professional or, you don't want to be a professional improviser, I would say take a class, see what it's about. And, you will definitely find one or two concepts, if not many, many more that you can apply to whatever your professional life is.
There's a lot of benefits to improv. It makes you a better public speaker. It makes you better in a crowd. It makes you better at leadership skills. It makes you better at teamwork skills. Meeting people,
yeah.
right. That's one of the things that I love to tell people about improv is that it's really made up of misfits because it's people who, for the most part, haven't found their crowd or their tribe anywhere else, right? Like, you're not particularly into sports teams. You're not into golf or this or that or the other thing. You play improv and you find out other people who are also not into going to bars and clubs and stuff. And this is where you meet each other, right? Like, it's a group of misfits who found a place to fit.
I like that.
And it also just really teaches you to approach life from a state of play, right? And to really be present in whatever it is that's happening, like things that you didn't choose, things that people put upon you. But how can you find how can you accept that situation and add something positive to it, right? How can you and that situation that maybe you don't necessarily want to be in, but here you are. Right. So find something that you can accept and then add to it in a positive way. And it really just helps you walk through life, I think, a little more easily.
Yeah. Definitely. That's some great insight and advice from the both of you explaining more and more about improv there. That's very cool. I really do appreciate that there. And as we're going towards our end of our These Are Questions interview, I just have one more question to ask the both of you. Okay. And that question is a would you rather. And would either of you want to go back to the future or move forward to the past?
So would I go back to the future or forward to the past? I'm more curious about the past than the future. Because the future, I mean, hopefully, God willing, I'm going to get there eventually, right? And I feel like it might be better if I just ease into it. But I sort of know the deal with the past. I mean, I've read books, I've seen movies. That's all it is, right? It's just movies are 100% accurate. TV shows 100% accurate.
Yeah, I guess it's true. You didn't say it had to be our past, right?
Yeah, so I'm more curious, I guess, about the past than I am about the future. So I would go back. No, I would go forward to the past.
To the past, yeah.
I would go forward to the past.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way, yeah. Forward to the past would be the way to go.
Yeah.
Okay, and see how things really were, not just how they're represented in movies. I mean,
also, neither of us have a DeLorean, so it's going to be tough to go back to the future without 88.1,
Not yet. You will have one in the future or in the past.
Soon, hopefully. One can hope.
They don't still make them, do they? DeLoreans? Oh, they do?
Yeah.
That's made by a secondary company. Yeah.
Nice.
Somebody bought out DMC in a warehouse full of parts.
Okay.
It's sorry, I just know that. Sorry.
I like that. These are random facts on These Are Questions. So that's cool. With that, we're at the end of our These Are Questions interview. Oh no, I didn't make you cry.
I know, it's so sad. It's okay.
Oh, thank you.
It's some felt.
A very aggressive piece of felt.
Fuchsia felt.
that was very aggressive. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for ending this. But before I end this further, I just want to open the floor to both of you. I want to open the internet to you. Anything that you want to say, anything you want to promote, anything you want to do before we end off this These Are Questions interview episode thing, whatever we're doing.
I guess, yeah, for promoting stuff, definitely, like we said earlier, check out our podcast, PlayDate with Dash and Allie. It's on your favorite podcast provider. Check out our Instagram, Society Circus, all one word, that's our Instagram. Mine is Dash Maverick. You can check me out there. Hers is Allie K. Mates.
My crochet Instagram is AllieK_Allie G makes.
Okay, not confusing at all. Visit our website for upcoming show dates, and we're still, we're performing improv. So come check out the next time we're in your area.
All right, awesome.
And feel free to just like message us questions about improv too. Like we're fine to answer questions about improv.
We're an open book.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're an open play date.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Alrighty. And I'll put all of everyone's informations in the descriptions down below for our viewers watching on my YouTube channel and our listeners listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. And for those that are watching/listening to, you have been watching/listening to These Are Questions. Good night, everyone.
Bye.